Hi guys, welcome to Retro Reactions, and today we're going to look at the first of two videos by a film producer called David Hoffman from the US. The films were both shot in, short videos shot in 1979, featuring for the most part, well, the father and son in the first video, and the second video is a same store, computer shop, but it's a store manager, and he actually talks a little bit about his how he thinks computers are going to pan out and the impact it's going to have on society. Now, a little bit of a story for this one. So when David originally posted this film, he said he's changed the title of it subsequently, but originally it was titled "Help Me Track Down This Computer Genius" from 1979. He hadn't had too much success with it. He was getting various posts suggesting that it was this. He posted another video with a kid that was of similar age, was a little bit older. Actually, it was a little bit younger, beg your pardon, because it was filmed later, and he was about 11 years old. And yeah, everybody thought it was him, but it wasn't. So anyway, long story short, I took up the challenge, and I remember it vividly because it was about 2 years ago. I was working on a night shift. It was a quiet night. And so I thought, well, okay, let me see if I can track this guy down. So you hear his name clearly in the video. His name's Jay. You hear his dad called what sounds like Chad or something similar. So it was a little bit unclear what his dad's name was. But I thought, well, okay, it's 1979. He gives away his age in the video. So at that point I thought, well, how do we track that down? Well, he says he's from Cedar Rapids. So then I thought, well, what if we go to look at, there must be some records of actually when he left school, age 18, because I know I've always done quite a big thing about that in the US, graduation time. So I looked for, I kind of took a guess on the year. It was a choice of 1 or 2 years, depending on when his birthday would have been, in Cedar Rapids. Fortunately, there wasn't a huge amount of schools in Cedar Rapids, and they did a high school list of who left that year. And there was a kid, and mercifully, there was only one kid on there called Jay. So I mean, if there had been 3 or 4 Jays, it could have been a different story. But there was one Jay on there, guy called Jay, and I'm going to mash up his surname, and I apologise, Jay Ehrlich. Now the thing was, I thought, well, I'm going to go all stalkerish and try and track him down now. So I actually looked up on Facebook. And again, a little bit of luck, drop lucky, as I punched his name in, a name came up in the right area in the US, and as luck would have it, you know, it didn't look too dissimilar to how he did as a kid. The basic features were still there. And also his dad was on a couple of the pictures as well, and his dad, it's clearly his dad, so I thought this has got to be the kid. So I dropped him a message on Facebook, and he messaged back. So then I contacted David Hoffman, and yeah, bless him, he offered to send me some free videos of this, some free films, and whatnot, and which was very kind. And yeah, so that was it. So that was this video. Anyway, so that's enough of me rambling about 3 minutes in already, and we haven't even watched the film yet. So that's a little interesting backstory about this video. I then posted his name. Of course, as soon as you do that, everybody starts reacting and going, well, this is dead easy to find. This is just look on the census records, and starts posting loads of stuff, posting his name. So everybody and his dog is now claiming to have found Jay. But yes, for the record, guys, scroll in the comments of this video and you will find some from Banana Retro about 2 years back. It was me. That was me. I found him first. Thank you very much. So let's watch the video.
I really don't quite understand everything that's happening here. What he's doing is like a foreign language to me right now. He got involved in this in school. Last year, the school that he attends has a terminal. And the next thing I know, he was obsessed with the operation of computers, designing programs. For the last 8 months, this is what he's been doing. We're in the process of saving money for a computer, I guess. I think. think you ought to ask Jay. I really don't know what, you know, I know what he's doing, and I know the games that he's programming and designing, but how he's doing it, I haven't the faintest idea. The mental processes that he goes through to get that on the screen, I can't even begin to compute in my own mind.
So I'll just chip in here. So, I mean, something a few people have commented on this. The people in the video are very articulate. They're all well spoken. They're all articulate. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's been a few people. The thing is, every generation comments on that, don't they? They always go. I mean, everybody's done it. I mean, I remember growing up, and you know, my parents were sort of like, oh, everybody talks rubbish now, but my parents talk really clearly and all that sort of stuff. So, but they do seem genuinely quite switched on. I mean, particularly when we look at the other video, you know, they're all kind of. Nobody in the film footage is like comes across as a bit of a whatever. So that's number one. Also, the father's very supportive of his son, which is obviously great to see. I mean, basically, he'll go on to tell the tale. But yeah, they come from Cedar Rapids. There's no computer at home. They're in the process of buying a computer. The dad's getting a computer for work, and the son's Jay's badgering his dad to get one for Christmas. But in the meantime, he's programming his game. Sorry, he's programming his piece of software which he wants to actually sell to a local business, and he's programming it basically, from what I can tell, on any time you can get on an Apple computer, either at school or at this shop. So, I mean, yeah, it's very, very, I mean, 1979, I always like to compare US to UK. And, yeah, I think possibly at a push, I can't even name you a computer that so I'll probably do this in another video because it's an interesting topic in its own right, but I'll just touch on it quickly. There's in the early days, there's big differences between the UK and the US. This is the time, don't forget, when if you had a film release, it would release in the US. We wouldn't get it for 6 months after that. That was pretty typical. So we were kind of like a little behind the curve in that respect. And same for home computers. I mean, yes, you probably could buy an Apple II, but it was, I looked it up, and by the time you factored in shipping, etc., it was double the price. And it was already a very expensive computer anyway. And we were just in a pit of a recession, the UK, around about that time. So, yeah. And I know there was a Tandy as well. The Commodore PET, from what I can tell, probably landed a little bit better at this side. But anyway, I'm rambling. Let's watch the rest of the video.
Jeff?
Yes.
Go ahead. Can you fill me in on what we're seeing?
Jeff, that's his name.
I'm not quite sure I can
It
tell
was
you
Chad
what
or
you're seeing
Jeff.
or not seeing.
Well, is he exceptional?
And mercifully,
There are
Jeff is on
where he goes to
the
school,
is on
several
Jay's
other
Facebook.
kids
I'm
his
actually
age
connected with these
who are
guys. Well,
involved
I'm connected
actively
with Jay now,
in computers,
obviously on
with
Facebook.
computers, going to college.
So,
And
having stalked him, sorry, Jay.
I would say that he's exceptional on the standpoint of, of the kids in the school system. There are maybe 20 that are capable of doing this out of several thousand. But there are more and more are getting involved in it, and it's really becoming.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of comments, particularly I think David originally titled this "Help Me Track Down This Computer Genius" from 1979. And of course, you get a load of comments like, he's not a computer genius, he's only doing basic. I did basic when I was a kid. But the thing is, there's doing basic, and then there's like Jay's doing here. Yeah, I mean, I could knock out a basic text adventure game.
Well, I'm sure going to get a few books and try and learn.
Commodore Basic, but
maybe
I couldn't program anything that would be commercial.
So far, he's into it to the degree, and I'm wrapped up in what I'm doing that I just don't have the time to sit down. To certain kids, and the kids that I've seen that are involved in computers, this comes very naturally, and it's like it's just like learning how to walk. They just pick it up naturally.
Yeah, I think that's always been true, hasn't it?
Many other kids,
with kids in tech.
It's just a separate language.
You just saw the store manager in the background. You're going to see him again in a second. Now he's actually
I don't
kind
know
of
what else to
stars,
say.
if you like, in the second video, and we'll do that
Well,
video
I
next, I think.
started out in school, and all we really did is, like, we had a terminal in our room, and we did math on it. And then some of the kids started to, like, go through it, and they were going through different things that I never knew about. And they'd find programs, other games, and we'd start to play games with them. And, you know, it kind of got boring just playing the same game over and over. So one of our teachers came out, and she taught computers at a college, I think. And she started to teach us just really easy parts of computers. And so after that, my teacher audited a course for me, and I went to college. And
How old are you?
I'm 12. It got really serious because we had to take finals and tests, and after that, I guess I had money, and I was looking into different computers, and I found the computer that I wanted. I've been writing a program for a company trying to sell it, and it hasn't been done. And in Cedar Rapids, there aren't many people and many computers around. So, when I was here, I just called up and asked if I could use one of the computers and finish up my program.
I mean, imagine
I did.
doing that now.
And right now, it's
First of the
almost
story would
finished.
probably tell
There's
you.
still
I mean,
a couple errors.
I mean, look how long the guys have
My
been sat there.
parents
I
have
mean,
been
if this was
talking to
like,
different people about,
Dixon's or
is
something,
he capable of using
you'd
the
be just
computer the right
hounded.
way?
And
I think my dad, he just wants me to have the computer, but right now I've been, just
to adjust.
come on, buy me a
An old man on the
computer.
back.
It's no big deal. But I think I'm just gonna have to wait till next year and just keep using other computers.
I can't help but think that this is going to help develop his thought processes. I see the way he thinks. We can watch it on the screen. I think that it can only be a positive influence. And I'm really very high on these things. I never really thought about it before until he got involved in them, but the more I see of them, the more positive I get. Who knows, I might turn into a computer fiend at some point. I don't know that I have the training or the intellect at this point to even understand this stuff. Maybe they do. Maybe they haven't been garbaged up with all the preconceptions that I have at this point.
I think there's a lot to say for that.
We're starting with a blank page here, and
I think that's a good observation
who knows what we can build
about any kid, to be
with this
honest.
type of training. If these disappeared tomorrow, he would do just fine. He's very goal-oriented, and he's pretty much set his goals for his future at 12. And I think he'll do it, with or without the computer. The computer can help, but he'll do it by himself.
What do you do?
I'm a salesman. I have 40 accounts. I do a large volume of business, and I need information, and my company provides me with the information via computer. And as a matter of fact, in conjunction with what Jay is doing, probably within the next several months, I'll be receiving a different kind of computer through my company that I can actually carry with me on the road. As a matter of fact, we have the system here. That's the first time
I
I've
might
seen it.
message
It's
Dad
quite
actually and
interesting.
see if
It's about the size of a
see if his
typewriter,
dad recollects what
and I
computer
can
that
get
was that they got.
information directly at that point. I think it's phenomenal.
Frequently, the future is looked at as being a very mechanical, machine-like thing with the robots and people who are like robots. Do you have any fears about the future in your son in that regard?
No whatsoever.
Describe that.
I don't think. I think that the human being, the human species will always control machines. I can never see machines taking over. As long as there's someone that has to sit and push the buttons and input the information, and someone who has emotions and feelings, machines will never take over. I might be wrong, if they can design a machine with emotions, that's a whole different story. But,
Which is what they're working on right now.
machines can't procreate either, can they? So, I don't think there's a problem. I really don't.
There's something wrong with it.
and we see the store manager in a second. And again, we'll see the store manager in the second video kind of come to the fore, and you'll see actually Jay and his dad in the background very briefly.
Keep stopping. I don't know why
It's interesting actually, I'm used to seeing the Apple II with a disc drive. I don't think I've seen it too often with a cassette, although apparently it came with a cassette.
Have you listened to the front?
I mean, obviously in the UK we were all cassette. But I'm just so used to seeing the US ones being disc.
Well, the volume was mismatched, but also you had a situation where you had some pointers set in the machine that would not allow you to load. And you would have needed do the ultimate reset, turn the machine off and turn it back on again.
Okay, it works. It's just
Okay.
that there's two.
Okay.
There you go.
You like that?
Looking good now. 5 years ago, I would have thought of a computer as something that you found in a giant building, giant IBM business computer. I would never believe that they could have gotten this compact ever. I think it's more it's just unbelievable, quite frankly, what they've done. And what's really exciting is if this is what they've done in your time frame of 5 years, what's going to happen 5 years from now? What is this going to be 5 years from now? And what are kids like him going to be doing 5 years from now? That's really exciting.
My name is Sarah. I recommend you
And there we
sit the
go.
piano.
Thanks, Serrano, but we don't really want to hear from you, my dear, so we'll just drop that one off. Yeah, and that's it. So cool. All right, so we're gonna check out the other video in a second video, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that one, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.